Hey everybody, this is Tracy here with a view from Tracy's Point. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about this new show that's coming on Showtime called The Shy, which is it's a story, like a coming of age story that's set in Southside Chicago. And I was on Essence, and I very rarely go on Essence.com because it's usually always bait posts that they, like you click on it because it has like this good headline, and then when you get into the actual blog page, it's just a bunch of bull crap. So on this particular day, I took the bait, and there was supposed to be a story about Anita Baker doing a farewell tour because she's decided to go into retirement. And it was like, will Anita Baker be coming to your town? And so, of course, I click on it because I love Anita Baker. And it's like a blog that's talking about how somebody, it was like some old story, and then it, fed into the fact that she was supposed to be coming out of retirement, but at the end, or going into retirement, but at the end of the day, they didn't give us any tours. And the only place I know Anita Baker is showing up at in 2018 is at Jazz in the Gardens, which is a music festival down in Miami, Florida. And I think this year it is March 17th and 18th. Somewhere around that third weekend in March is when it usually takes place. So anyway, I'm on this bait post and I see this ad. It was like the ad, you know how ads are popping all up on these web pages. So the ad was at the top, the ad was on the side, the ad was at the bottom, the ad was a pop-up. So I was like, well, damn, what is The Shy? So let me go ahead and click on it and see what it is. So I found out that it's this new series that's coming on Showtime. It starts, you can watch the premiere on YouTube, which is where the ad directed me to. So you can watch it for free on YouTube, but then the actual series begins on Sunday, January 7th on Showtime. But anyway, just it was really good. It was really good. I was really impressed. It's basically not so much about friendship, but about people that live in the South Side of Chicago neighborhood, and just how their lives become intertwined. And so it opens up with this really, really cute kid I had never seen before. And I couldn't tell at first if it was a girl or a boy, but then we, eventually find out that it's a boy, and his name is Gilroy, and I can't remember what movie they said that he's played in before. But there was another movie that was out like last year he played in, but really cute kid, long head full of wavy hair, and his acting was really good. And so he plays a character named Coogie. And so like the first 10 minutes of the show, we're just following him on his bicycle as he's riding through the city, and he's stopping, to do things. And so he stopped at a corner grocery store that was owned by the Middle Easterners, and he has like an exchange with them, so they become like a part of the show, sort of like a side piece of the show. And then we had the only person I really knew in the show was Sonia John, Sohn, from The Wire. I think she was a police officer in The Wire, so she was the only person I recognized. So we had the Jacquin boy who plays Coogie, and then Coogie has a half brother, and the half brother is married, and so him and the wife have like moved out of, I guess, the hood, and so the mother doesn't like the wife, and she seems like one of those women that take it personal, like they're in the struggle, but then they take it as a personal offense when their children want to do better and be better and move out of the hood. So the oldest son is married to this girl that she doesn't like because she thinks the girl has changed him. And then he is aspiring to be a chef. And so he has this opportunity to cook on the line. I guess he was like a dishwasher, and so they were giving him the opportunity to actually cook on the line. And so Coogie, as he's riding through the neighborhood, I think at one point he got on the subway, got off the subway. It was just like, okay, you just felt like something was about to happen to Coogie because it was like, when we gonna get to the storyline here? So Coogie stumbles upon a dead body, and he decides to steal a necklace off the dead body. So we're like, oh God, why? And then I'm just thinking, like, dead bodies are just laying around in the street in Chicago. And actually, the show kind of reminded me of Boys in the Hood. Remember, like, the first 5 or 10 minutes of Boys in the Hood was where they were little boys, and then they find that body in the field, and they're messing with the body and stuff. So it had that same vibe and that same feel as Boys in the Hood. And so the other family is, I thought was funny. So it was a scene where the boy, it was in the shoe store, and so he was trying on some shoes. So here come the loud baby mama cussing him out, telling him he need to take care of his child and not be buying shoes and everything. And so he tells, so the guy who owns the shoe store, he tells them they got to get out, they can't be fighting in the store. So then he was like, well, I'm a paying customer. I need these shoes in size 9. So you need to kick her out. So then the guy was about to kick her out. So then the girl was like, how you gonna kick me out? So they get to tussling in the store. So the guy tell them they both got to go. So then the boy was like, you know what? We're gonna settle this right now. Let's go get DNA. Let's go get a DNA test right now. So turns out it was his baby. I was like, oh my God. And then I'm trying to remember if he was the one. So he lived at home with his mom, and I can't remember who the actress was. Like I said, the only person I recognized I had ever seen in the show before was the Sonia Jean lady, because I remember her from The Wire. So this boy, earlier before the whole shoe store scene, he had a girl in his bedroom, and so the mom came home, and she's like, why are the doors closed in my house? And I'm just like cracking up, because you ain't closing no doors and locking doors and miles if you ain't paying no bills. And even if you is paying bills, you still ain't locking doors and having people in a bedroom in a house that I'm paying for, because the only person screwing in here is me, and I ain't screwing, okay? So there ain't no screwing going on over here. But the mom comes, she's banging on the door, so the boy tells the girl to get under the bed. And, he's trying to put his clothes back on. So then the mom comes in the room, he opens the door, and the girl's trying to get her underwear and pull the underwear back under the bed with her. So then the mom sits down on the bed right where the girl was reaching for the underwear. And so, she knew that the girl was in there. And so she was like, who's under that bed? Who's under that bed? What's your name? And so I thought I liked that scene. Like, he might be out there making babies, but it ain't for her telling him not to be making babies, and he better be using condoms. So she, tell the girl to come from under the bed and get dressed and come down to breakfast. And she asked the girl, did she like sausage? And the boy was like, Mom, bacon is better. And then the girl was like, bacon? And then she said, well, all we got is sausage. So when you get dressed, come on down here and have breakfast with us. So it had like some serious moments and some lighthearted moments. But then we find out that they did go do the DNA test. And the DNA test came back that he was the father of the child. And so the girl dropped the baby off, and he was getting ready to go somewhere. He was like, I can't be fooling around with that baby, like, and the mom was like, no, this is your responsibility. You gonna take care of the baby. I ain't got time to be watching babies. And so who else? Oh, and then the police, so they found the body that the Coogie boy was messing with, and he ended up getting arrested. And so they take him down to the precinct, and, really smart, bright kid, and the police officer, the detective, you could tell he took a liking to him. And then when they decided to let him go and realize that he was just messing with the body and stole the stuff. And I think they killed the person for his shoes, because they said he was missing his shoes, his cell phone, and I think that necklace. So when he goes out, they tell the little boy he can go. He goes over and talks to the brother, who's the one that wants to be the chef, and, gives him his cards and say, if you guys need anything, just let me know. So then we go to there was a guy that was talking to these other guys on the corner when the detective pulled up, and the detective was telling him, that they had a body and that they believed that it was his son. So he goes down to the morgue to identify the body, but then the boy's mother was there, and then they have like an exchange, so we get to know them, and she tells him, that he needed to make this right. He needs to fix this and figure out who killed their son. And so, he's like, you can tell like he's a brother that's probably been in the game, but he trying to get out the game and live right. But he loved his woman, and now she done put this thing on him, like he got to be loyal and show his strength and everything, that he can take care of this matter and make it worse. Well, he finds out that Coogie was over the body and had gotten arrested. So he ends up killing Coogie. And I was so hurt. I was just like, oh my God, like how y'all introduce us to this little boy and make us fall in love with him, and then y'all just take him out just like that. So this is going to be one of them shows where you don't want to get too attached to the characters because you don't know how long they're going to be on the show. And so there was a little boy who, well, he was a little boy, but I think he was in middle school. So he likes this girl, so we have that little scene. And I'm trying to think what movie that reminded me of the little kids, trying to like the little girls. But throughout the premiere, his friends are trying to push him up to talk to this girl. So the girl was in the drama and the chorus. I think it was a drama club, but they were singing like a musical or something. So he signed up for that, trying to get next to this girl. Then got called to task and had to get up and, perform in front of the little girl that he liked, and everybody was laughing at him and everything. But she thought he was cute and a pretty good singer. So he witnessed the guy kill Coogie. So Coogie had, that particular night when Coogie was killed, he had chained his bicycle up at the store that the Middle Easterners own. And so the brother, after the funeral, so at the funeral, the brother and the mom get into it, and she tells him that it was his fault that Coogie got killed because he was supposed to watch Coogie for a couple of days, get him away from the heat and everything that was going on. And Coogie ended up leaving, and then that's when he got killed. So she was blaming the older son for that. So he all freaked out. So now he feels like he has to avenge his little brother's death. So he goes to get the bicycle from the Middle Easterners. And while he's there, the kid that found out that he had another baby, because I think he had like several kids. So he's at the store buying like Pampers and everything, because remember the mom told him he had to watch the baby. And he comes out and he sees the older brother getting the bicycle, and then he tells him there was a kid that witnessed your brother getting killed. And so he takes him to the little boy. So then he goes to meet, he meets with the little boy, tell him, I know you saw my brother get killed. I know you know who did it. Take me and show me who the person is. So the little boy was like, okay, well, I'll do it for the bicycle. So he said, well, I got $47. You can have the $47. And the little boy said the $47 and Coogie's bicycle. So the two of them get to walking and talking. And I'm just thinking, oh, this little boy, like, here's another little sweet little boy. Like, don't let him end up getting killed. But as they're walking down the street, they come upon the guy, the older guy, and he's talking to those two other guys like he was earlier in the show. And he stops and he tells Coogie's older brother, hey, that's the guy. That's him right there. So the show ends with them looking at the guy. And so now I'm thinking, okay, my God, what's going to happen in the second episode? And so it kind of like gives you a picture of how like all these murders take place. And, it's like, murder only begets more murder. If there's no understanding, no accountability or anything, then these people are just killing each other. And where does it end? So I think I'm going to be here for it. I'm going to cancel Stars and subscribe to Showtime. And then I'll cancel Showtime when power comes back and get Stars back on my device. I'm like, y'all ripping me off. I shouldn't be having to pay all this money just to be watching these shows. But I'm thinking it's probably only about 8 or 9 episodes. So 2 months. 2 months subscription to Showtime. I can handle that. So guys, leave your comments below and let me know if you watched the premiere and what you thought about it, or whether or not you're going to check it out and give it a try. I think it's probably going to do well, especially because normally premieres are kind of slow, but this premiere wasn't slow. It jumped right into it. The acting was really good. The storyline was good. And it wasn't, just brutal bloodshed, violence like that. It was sort of like taking you through the day in the life of people in South Chicago. Like, it's scary, but on the same side, it's just everyday people, average people that's trying to get through life just like everybody else in other parts of the world. They just seem to have a higher crime rate. And this is how, like, when you're looking at the news and you see these innocent people that are getting gunned down and killed in the streets, and you're like, my God, what is going on? So this kind of gives you a peek into what that is all about. So guys, that's it for me. Rate the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video if you are so inclined. And until the next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.